long, lean legs, a tongue dripping with hot saliva, tail held arrow straight. The timber wolf stands just at the edge of the trees, almost, but not quite, hidden from me by the shadows of lodgepole pine. She is gray, white, and black, the color of snow in shadows, her legs planted as firmly as the trees behind her. She's panting, but not from the heat. Blood speckles her muzzle, and from just inside the tree line slides a whine of pain. The wolves were hunting a moose, and the hunt did not go well for them. A moose is a fearsome adversary, and this one won the battle. The wolf is watching me warily. She's accustomed to the sight of people. We are everywhere. The town shops expand and the forests contract. She's watching me, and I can't help but wonder if she wants to trade places with me. Would she prefer living in a little cottage, eating cake and sipping wine, to living on the edge, hunting diminishing stalks of prey? Would she rather have a doting granddaughter than a mate with ribs crushed by the mighty kick of a bull moose? I dip my head to her, and her ears perk. Recognition? Have we made contact? I close my eyes, inhale deeply, and howl up to the moon, and a moment later I hear her answering howl. I remember the words of transformation and feel my body take the shape of this timber wolf. I collapse to the ground onto my hands and knees, feel my fur burst through my skin, and I lope back to the house on all fours. I don't know where the wolf went, maybe to lick the wounds of her mate. I lope through the forest, the trees uniformly spaced, straight and long, thrusting into the sky. Pine needles cushion the impact of my feet, and I move in silence. I smell the smoke of chimneys, the exhaust from cars. I hear the constant drone of the highway that intersects the forest. I run all the way home and leap through the kitchen window, knocking over dishes, pots, pans. My feet skid out from under me on the smooth tile floor. I sprawl there for a moment, panting with exertion. I get up, a tack-tick-tack of claws on tile, and pad my way into the bedroom. I stick my nose under the covers and climb into bed. My granddaughter will be here soon, and I want to teach her about our connection to nature. She doesn't know of the power she holds. I will show it to her. There are fewer of us now. The wolves are vilified by the city people, the ranchers, the government. Reports fill reams of paper produced by the destruction of the trees, the shrinking of the ecosystems, the pulping of cellulose into a pogrom against the natural world. Instead of orangey red pine needles softening the ground, holding in the moisture, instead of trees purifying the air, we have asphalt and concrete, flooded by unimpeded rains, no roots, and to hold the water in the soil. The sun's heat is magnified by this world of glass and metal and clouds of exhaust. These days, the huntsmen ride in helicopters, chasing down the last packs of wolves. The wolves are dropped by strafing gunfire, or they run themselves to death. The government says these are conservation methods. Only by getting rid of the wolves can we save the caribou. But no mention as to the towering concrete dams flooding habitat. No mention as to water and land destroyed by mining operations. We are told to blame it on the wolves. No attempt is made to restore our equilibrium with nature. When my granddaughter arrives, she lets herself in with the key I hide under the geranium pot. My ears twitch to hear the lock click and the squeak of the door on its hinges. Her hair smells of chamomile shampoo. A moment of silence, and I hear her exclaim at the mess in the kitchen. "Nana," she calls. I forget for a moment that I can no longer form human words. I whine, and she comes into my bedroom. The curtains are closed, and it is cool and dark in here. She comes over to my bed, and before she has a chance to be frightened, I open my jaws wide and swallow her whole. I feel her inside me. She tastes of confusion and alarm. I speak from my gut. Do not fear, child. You are safe within my belly. Her thoughts meld with mine. Thoughts of video games and influencers, a pretty orange bird she saw on the way here, the wolf at the edge of the trees, the scent of pine sap, the words of transformation, the beginning and end and cycle of all things. This is the crucible of change, child. You will learn what it is to be one with our animal relations, to feel the roots of trees stretching their ways deep into the earth's crust, to experience the fungal bloom in the pre-dawn hours, when the birds have not yet begun their song. We live upon the souls of the ones who breathe. Their life is our life. We eat them, they eat us, and this collection of deaths go on to create more lives. Today we do not have that equilibrium. Our animal relations are dying in far greater numbers than the humans. I feel my granddaughter's alarm begin to quell. She is soothed by my inner voice, by the juices in my belly. She is broken down into mush in the cocoon of my stomach. Like a caterpillar, she is broken down and reforming. I have faith in her resilience. My hairy body is swollen with the child within me. Milk drips from my swollen dugs. Birth is rarely easy. Transformation is painful. I brace for the agony of childbirth, but this birth is much easier than when I pushed out her mother. Human heads are terribly large, and pelvises must separate, flesh must rend to allow egress. My wolf pup granddaughter slides out of me head first. I lick her clean, devouring the caul and placenta. Her eyes are tightly closed. What small eyes you have. I can't wait until they're open.